you have a weapon. I need a hand. Good. You came. After we finished at Hope Root, I raced to Feldegard Keep to warn them about the report we found. But as you can hear, the battle already rages on. If only we'd found that recollection report earlier. Daedric forces seek to overwhelm the Legion cohort defending the Keep. The Legionaries here are capable, but there's something about this attack. We can't let the Keep fall. I need to get inside and help them. In addition to defending the major roads to the north and east, its proximity to the devastated area and the new forest make it integral to the protection of the Weald heartland. What say you? Care to take a Legion commission and help me end this? We need to take stock of the situation before we head inside. Stumbling into a fight blindly never ends well. There's an overlook east of the Keep. Locals usually run a small market there. We can get a good view of the Keep from that location. It was a reconnaissance report to the Recollection leaders. Contained all kinds of information about Feldegard Keep. The kind of information you collect before launching an attack. I assumed I'd find Recollection forces here, but they send Daedra. I did a little scouting before you arrived and immediately ran into a squadron of Daedra. Shardborn Dremora from the looks of it, but other Daedra as well. Now I want to head to the Overlook and get a better view of the current situation. The Legion built the Keep late in the First Era as part of Riemann Cyrodiil's initial Imperial expansion. Head to the Market Overlook. We'll take stock of the situation there. We need to take stock. Damn, they breached the wall. Let's talk strategy, comrade. Damn. The Daedrab surrounded the keep and breached the fort's outer wall. The situation is worse than I thought. We need to get in there and help them. The Legionaries barricaded the area past the breach. Can't go through there. There's a side entrance to the southwest. It's obscured by overgrowth, so there's a good chance it hasn't been noticed. We'll try that way. Then we find Commander Marion. Marion commands the troops stationed at Feldegard. He's stubborn, but has an excellent tactical mind. He'll know exactly how we can help once we get in there. The door is recessed between a gap and some rocks. I wouldn't call it a hidden entrance, but it's easy to miss if you don't know about it. I'll point it out. Once inside, we'll find Commander Marion. He'll tell us how we can help. Tough as forged iron and sharp as a rapier. I've seen him devise amazing strategies and accomplish seemingly impossible tactics. He loves Colovia and will defend it with everything he's got. With him in charge, those Daedra are in for a fight. The door is behind that gap in the rocks. Stay alert while we look for Commander Marion.
Commander! They're climbing over the walls! We can't...
Tribune! Praise the gods, we can use your help.
He's up on the wall. How can we help, Commander?
Stendarr's blood, it's good to see you. We need all the swords we can get. And anyone traveling with Tribune Alea is always welcome in a fight. Those Daedra are pummeling us. I need something done to hold them back. The most immediate threat is that they are slipping in all over the keep. I need to contain them in one spot if I'm going to bring my forces to bear. If we slow their progress and cut off their entry points, they'll regroup at the breach in the wall. Since my soldiers are up to their ears in Daedra, you're gonna slow down the assault. Go around the keep and reset some traps that we planted. As you do that, burn the ropes those Daedra are using to climb over the walls. You'll have to cut down an enemy or two, no question. But your primary objective is to reset those traps and burn those ropes.
That'll stop any Daedra, if they have legs. Didn't even know Daedra could climb ropes. Careful! You need those hands to fight. I hope this makes them mad. That's all of the traps. I hope they hurt. We have our order. That's all the ropes I can see. Good work.
Commander, the ballista's destroyed. They'll breach the courtyard soon.
Blasted clever Daedra. Meet me in the courtyard.
We'll guard this passage and fend off any Daedra.
The courtyard is through those doors.
Tribune, get that ballista in working order. Mercenary, you get the fun part. We thought those barricades would hold longer. Those blasted Daedra broke through when our backs were turned and damaged our last ballista. My legionaries set up another barricade, but it may not last for long. That's where you come in, mercenary. If the Daedra can't get close to the barricade, they can't knock it down. So we'll set it on fire. My legionaries already brought up oil. I need you to pour it over the barricade. Soak it well, then come back here. Tribune Alea will repair the ballista while you douse the barricade in oil. Once it's ready, launch a flaming bolt into the oil and set it ablaze. That should hold their advance and create a kill zone. After that, use the ballista at will. I gave you an order, mercenary. Get to it. Grab that oil that's behind you first. I'll walk you through everything else. No plan is ever certain. And we don't have... Grab that bucket of oil first! Now pour the oil around the barricades. Look out. Mercenary, finish repairing the ballista. The parts are by the back wall.
Commander, I see 2 legionaries trapped outside the barricade.
That did it! Now arm that ballista, target the oil, and set it ablaze. Now crush those Daedra!
No! Lost the legionary.
Don't underestimate us.
Nice targeting, mercenary. Get ready for the next wave.
We lost the legionary. There's too many Daedra.
Keep it up! I see another wave approaching! That's it for the ballista! Tribune, look sharp!
Daedra emerging through the north door! With me, comrade!
Find out where they're coming from.
Comrade, you're with me! We crushed the Daedra's frontal assault and stopped them from getting past the barricade. But the ones who emerged from the barracks, where did they come from? Living quarters. The barracks extend beneath the keep, and a dungeon is below that. I'm not sure how the Daedra could get in down there, but we should take a look. There's one more curious thing about this assault. Where's the Daedric commander? This attack is much too coordinated to not have a leader. Find the commander, and maybe we can sever the head of this army. Let's search the barracks for another breach. And keep watch for any Daedra that looks to be in charge. Ballista storage. See that lift? It brings them up into the courtyard. Let's hope they haven't found it. The armory's just through those doors. Be ready for anything. That must be their commander. Keep low.
Go! Take your forces and capture the keep. I will gather reinforcements in Miramor. As you command, Shard Marshal Vargas.
We need to talk, comrade. I wondered when Shard Marshal Vargas would turn up again. I still owe her for Rustwall. And she has a new sword. Did you see how it opened a portal? Brought in reinforcements from someplace she called Miramor. We need to take that blade. Usually I'd leap the railing and rush into battle, but who knows what else that blade can do. I'd rather not be turned into a mud crab or something. Let's split up. If we attack her from two sides, we'll split her focus. Then we can take her down. Go around the side to that gateway across from here. I'll distract the commander, then you attack and grab the blade. It's important we do this before she opens another portal. If reinforcements come through, we'll have a bigger fight on our hands. I could still leap this railing and rush her if you think that would work. No. Let's stick with the plan I outlined. Once you're in position at the gateway, I'll distract the Shard Marshal. Let's do this. Some Oblivion plane? the Blade Abolisher. It's all yours, comrade.
Abolisher will be mine again, mortals. We shall definitely meet again.
Perhaps I'll ask about the portal later. Right now, I want to know if the keep is secure.
You give the report, comrade.
The battle out here appears to be over, except for a few straggling Daedra. Are we in the clear? What did you find in the barracks? And how did you wind up emerging from a portal? Portals under the keep. That's an unexpected tactic. But I'm glad you and the Tribune took care of it. Without reinforcements, the remaining Daedra shouldn't pose too much of a problem for my legionaries. As safe as can be expected, we are a military installation after all. We'll wipe out the remaining Daedra, then begin rebuilding the keep. I expect Tribune Alea will want a final word or two with you before you go. After this beating, who can say? Daedra don't behave in any rational way that I ever noticed. But we'll shore up the barricades, rebuild the wall. And there's always...
You didn't hesitate to leap through the portal after me. You do this sort of thing pretty regularly, don't you? Shard Marshal Vargas got away, though. That's on me. I swear I'll get her next time. But that place... the sky looked like cracked glass. Mirrormore. What a desolate place. Did the Shardborn come from there? Maybe Baragon or Laramil can tell us more. We should also have them examine the blade. What did Vargas call it? Abolisher. Huh. Would it be all right if I took the sword to them? I'll help bury the dead and then take Abolisher to Skingrad. Maybe Laramil or Baragon can make sense of it. I want you to know I appreciate your help here, comrade. Take this and consider your commission with the Legion over. For now. Let's keep news about Abolisher between us until we're back in Skingrad. I don't want thieves or Recollection agents to get any ideas while I'm traveling. Return to Baragon's townhouse as soon as you can. I have a feeling this is far from over. That old place? What happened there? No, don't tell me. I'll hear about it later. Let me help a little here and then I'll see you in Skingrad. And don't worry.
Lost? How can we be lost? We make this trip every year.
Give me a moment to get my bearings. This wouldn't have happened if we were debating all the time. It distracts me.
I hate to admit it, but Agmund is right. Our accursed debate on the Molag Bal paradox is what got us into this predicament. It goes as follows. Molag Bal is the Daedric Lord of Domination. He always opposes the wishes of others. If everyone would express the belief that he exists, would he therefore cease to do so because his nature demands he oppose the wishes of others? The question comes from the initial assumption that Molag Bal is subject to the metaphysical rules of the universe, which we call the Orbis. If that's true, then is he truly a being of pure domination? I think you can. What are your thoughts on the paradox? Maybe then we can put our debate to rest and focus on getting to Skingrad. You should hear both our opinions on the matter before you decide.
Well, I just figured out where we need to go. But I am excited that this stranger wants to enter the debate now. The Molag Bal paradox is a classic. I wanted to dig into it because I know Isaias doesn't like talking about Daedra, but I also think it's a good one to pass the time. I felt that Molag Bal being alive implies that Orbic forces wish him not to exist, and so, in defiance, he chooses to remain alive. That implies that the universe at large wishes us to suffer, which would be both abusing and sad.
Speak to Agmund and hear his argument. I'll share mine, then give us an outsider's perspective. Because Anuic and Padomaic forces simultaneously defy and support Molag Bal, he both simultaneously resists and submits to the will of others. This then means Molag Bal is either not completely dominant, or is not completely real. Please, let's hear them. Maybe then we can finish our pilgrimage. There's a comfy inn and a bottle of wine waiting for me in Skingrad. I don't doubt it. We all must confront our inner Molag Bal at some point. That's the struggle of sapience. We cannot control what we desire. As a fellow philosopher, I applaud you. Well, thank you for putting up with our musings. We should probably be off. Skingrad awaits us. Let's get moving, Agmund. If we're lucky, there'll be sweet rolls available at the bakery by the time we arrive.
Oh, thank the eight. I was going to say the same thing, Isaias. Bye, traveler. Thanks for the help.
Now, dead creature, prepare to rise again! Step back, stranger. I'm about to perform a miraculous feat of mighty spellcraft! I'm unleashing the power of my ancestors. I intend to reanimate the dead. I recently learned I'm descended from ancient alien necromancers. Can you believe it? Oh, yes! The ancient aliens fled Cyrodiil ages ago. I recently discovered our family tree, and it plainly says one of those wild elves was my ancestor. So I'm here, testing out my obvious alien talents in necromancy. You doubt my abilities? Bear witness, stranger. I'll display the skills that only one of alien heritage could possess. Here goes nothing. I command thee, lesser creature, to rise! Oh, no, no, no! Get away! Why won't you obey me? Ah!
pretend you never saw me, Traveler. I don't want to bother you. I'm looking to get away from the war in Cyrodiil, but don't know where to go. No, I'm alright. I mean, I'm not, but it's better for both of us if you just moved on. I deserted my post in Cyrodiil. I'm on the run. You could get in trouble for speaking to me. That's why I'm out here. I've got nowhere to go. The Legion watches the city for deserters, and they consider anyone who fights on the side of one of the alliances to be a traitor and a criminal. I dare not even go back to my family. I'm not sure. I need to leave these lands. Maybe board a ship in Anvil and go somewhere. I'm going to find a ship out of Anvil. Perhaps we'll meet again in the West, Traveler.
Looks like you have your hands full there, Traveler. What's that squawking? Oh, clever Marcian. Thank you for this, Traveler. I've been waiting a long time for this guzzard. It's a tough one. You can tell by the thick leather of its wings. Such a handsome creature. Reminds me of Belkarth. Here, a token of my gratitude. That old guzzard has a true Craglorn soul. The look in its eyes says it all. I think we'll get along just fine. I asked Marcian to find 2 other creatures for me. I haven't seen them in a while, so I'd be happy to pay for your help again. I asked them to trap some guzzards for me as pets, an adolescent and an adult. They remind me of my home back in Craglorn. I also lost my dear pet wormmouth, Verzidu, on the journey here. If anyone can bring these creatures to me, it's Marcian.
Drink up, friends! The next round is on me. Well, hello there, gorgeous. You fancy a drink? Ooh, you know me, but I don't know you. I'd love to share a drink and see how well you hold your ale, but I seem to have run dry. Oh, West Weald Wallop is the best drink in this place. Fetch me a cask, and we can sit and talk for as long as you like.
I got most of them on my other character, actually.
I knew I liked
Doesn't
you.
show them on this character right now.
Ask away, pretty face, but don't take too long. My cup is still empty. Why, I'm making some new friends! There's no better way to win people over than a cold drink and a warm toast! And these people really know how to celebrate. Oh, now I want some toast. Because life's too short not to be silly. What do I have to worry about? I've got all the ale I could want, a gorgeous stranger chatting me up, and my tab's not due. Not yet, anyway. Things have never been better. Why, I'm making some new friends! There's no better way to win people over than a cold drink and a warm toast! And these people really know how to celebrate. Oh, now I want some toast. You hear that, barkeep? I've got a new drinking buddy.
Please, West Weald Wallop. Very well.
Don't dawdle, pour us around. Cheers to you, my friend. Well, drink. That ale really packs a punch. I might take a nap for a minute. Well, that was embarrassing. Don't worry, I already took her back. Can we speak, friend? That was mortifying. I'm sorry you had to see that. I never did learn to hold my drinks. After all that, I would understand if you want to leave, but I could still use your help, if you're willing. That's a fair question. I don't quite feel like myself, and it's not just the headache I can feel brewing thanks to my delight's indulgence. I'm still missing 2 facets. I need you to get them back. That's good, but I don't think this one wants to be found. It's my fear. The same facet you saw earlier. She probably ran to the deepest place she could find to hide. I sense she's in a cave or ruin southwest of Ontis. Tread lightly. I hate to admit it, but I've never been good in a panic. Quite the opposite, actually. I doubt my fear will come willingly. I'll catch up with you as soon as I've settled... Well, I suppose it's my tab now, isn't it?
I will bring your murderer to justice, Father. This, I swear. You've come to the town of Ontis at an unfortunate time, traveler. I myself have only just returned. Coming home to bury one's father is never an easy thing. What other explanation is there? My father, Oberyn, was town constable. He wrote to me about investigating some suspicious deaths. Then suddenly, I get a letter telling me he had died. I requested leave from the Legion and returned as fast as I could. Not yet. First, I volunteered to replace him as constable. Then I had to make the arrangements to bury him. With multiple deaths to investigate, I need to hire a deputy. So what do you say, traveler? Interested in the job? Your first task is to familiarize yourself with what's happening here. The graveyard is a good place to start. Notice the number of recent markers and the similar causes of death. Go on. We can talk again after you examine the newer grave markers. Ontis attracts workers from both the Highlands and Hammerfell. It's known for its prosperous ranch, and the quarry has made a fortune supplying Cyrodiil with stone to repair keeps on all sides of the war. As a legionary, I'm not thrilled about that. I was. Still am, I suppose. My commanding officer granted me leave to put my father's affairs in order. When that's done, then I'll decide if I'm still needed here, or if my place is back with the West Weald Legion. Come. Tell me your thoughts, Deputy. You examined the newest grave markers. Give me your impressions, Deputy. Indeed. My father wrote that both the ranch and the quarry were working their laborers very hard of late. But prior to this, I never heard of a fever that strikes down strong, healthy workers in the prime of their lives. They call it fatigue fever. So the town leaders would have everyone believe. My father made no mention of feeling unwell in his last letter. It was dated the same day he died. He often wrote to me about his investigations, said it helped him think through all the permutations. Just that he was baffled. He described fatigue fever as a strange illness that was killing workers. But he had a feeling there was more involved in the deaths. He suspected foul play, and so do I. All right, enough chatter. Let's get back to it. Talk to some of the townsfolk. They may be more willing to open up to a stranger than to me. You'd be surprised what ordinary folk pick up on when those in power fail to notice. My father's letter said he was planning to question Grokug at the stone chip, ranch overseer Marak, and quarry boss Larina. Let's start where he left off and talk to them. Then, check my father's office. I haven't been able to do that yet. Just see what they have to say about recent events. The deaths of their fellow workers. My father. What they think about fatigue fever. My father must have assumed they had something to tell him. We need to follow up on that. My father's office. My office now, I suppose. It's been unoccupied since he died. I know I need to go in there. Take stock of things, but it's hard. If you could see if anything related to our investigation stands out, I'd appreciate it.
Welcome to the Stone Ship Tavern and Gambling Den, stranger. Looking for work in Ontis? Or did you come to our fine establishment because you heard we host the best games of chance this side of the Strid? So you're Yabrin's new deputy? Good. She could use the help. I'm not sure I could come back and dive into work after losing someone as close as Yabrin was to her father. What can I tell you, Deputy? Constable Albrin was a good man. Kept the peace here. Made sure the workers, both native townsfolk and recent arrivals, got along. He was a friend. I know he was concerned about the illness spreading through town. Shame it killed him. We talked all the time. As I said, we were friends. He'd sometimes inquire if there was any chatter in the stone chip he needed to worry about. But the only news I can think of is that a lot of our regulars from the quarry haven't been in a while.
I thought it was you for a second.
Not much to tell. We're a small town full of hard-working people. Most everyone is employed by the Carvane Ranch or the Raxley Quarry. Baron Carvane and Lady Raxley have always had sort of a friendly rivalry, but lately it seems less cordial. It's the illness affecting the workers. Took Constable Albrin, too. We saw the first signs of it a few months back. It started innocently enough. Most thought everyone was working too hard. But then those with the illness started dying. He was? That's a good question.
I'm teasing
I
you.
suppose maybe it was a little strange that only people who work at the ranch or the quarry were getting sick. Until, that is, Healer Navalma and Albrin got ill. The disease came upon them and they died very quickly.
You big butt-headed bitch.
The ranch makes a substantial profit providing food for the town and the region. While the quarry has had some success, since the war for the throne heated up, it's begun to challenge the Baron's status and put a strain on their relationship. It's the illness affecting the...
Bitter Nightbot. Nightbot doesn't care. It's upstairs.
Despite rumors to the contrary, Carvane Ranch only hires qualified applicants. Seasoned ranch hands only. We have no time or inclination to train novices. And we especially have no need of rowdies. Perhaps you should inquire at the quarry, Ah, I see. I had an appointment to speak to her late father. Unfortunately, he succumbed to that terrible malady before that occurred. I'll tell you what I plan to tell him. No crime plagues the town of Ontis. Just a lamentable disease. Isn't that the nature of lawkeepers? To see a crime behind every event, guilt is the source of every motivation? Baron Carvane ordered me to cooperate, as long as it didn't interfere with the business of the ranch. You really are new. The Baron owns Carvane Ranch, which feeds most of West Weald. This fatigue fever, as it has come to be known, is a burden on business, but you can't toss a disease in the dungeon. If there is nothing else, good day to you.
Another worker out sick, and right after one of my best died in his sleep. You look strong. Interested in making some coin in the quarry, stranger? Constable Ulbrin's daughter? Look, if this is about that conversation I had with Yabrin's father, I must have been mistaken. I don't know anything about the illness, other than I've lost more quarriers lately than I can replace. Briefly, I thought I noticed something, but I was wrong. Besides, he died before we could talk more. Look, the illness is bad, but my remaining quarriers are more than making up for the workers we lost. Beyond that, I have nothing more to say. Listen, I'm just the crew boss. I hire quarriers and keep them busy. If you have questions beyond that, you need to talk to Lady Raxley. She owns the quarry and knows a lot more about what you're asking than I do. Now, I have a quarry to run.
Deputy, were you able to interview the townsfolk I suggested? I wonder what my father hoped to get out of talking to them. I know this is all tied to fatigue fever. I just don't know how. What about the constable's office? Did you find anything important there? My father's notebook? It describes how productivity increased lately, at both the quarry and the ranch. Interesting. And he mentions how the town healer died suddenly, before she could share her findings. 2 suspicious deaths that break the pattern. That 2 healthy people, not connected to the ranch or quarry, were suddenly inflicted with fatigue fever and died faster than any other victims. My father planned to talk to Baron Carvane and Lady Raxley next. Do that, while I investigate the healer.
I already fucking reported you, bud.
Let's rally at the Stone Chip Tavern when you're done, Deputy.
Put you in the slammer.
The Carvane Ranch does not sell to individual buyers. This is not a general store. Might I suggest the markets in Skingrad? Or perhaps you can purchase a meal at the Stone Chip Tavern. Glad to hear that young Yabrin has gotten right to work. Her father would be proud. But I am uncertain as to what I can tell you that would help advance her investigation. What exactly is she investigating, by the way?
Thank you. I seen that you put it in the MOTD.
I didn't realize that sickness and illness were now the purview of the town constable. I can tell you what I know. A strange disease has befallen workers at my ranch and at Raxley's quarry. Unfortunate, but there's no crime that I can see. Is it? No matter. None of this is a concern to me, and I have no idea how to help you. I have enough to do just to keep the ranch running.
Yeah, I gotta
in these
mess with
difficult
all that
times.
stuff.
So if
I haven't
there's
even,
nothing
like, it
else,
says I made a
I'll
script,
bid you
but
good
I don't
day
even
and
remember
good
doing
luck
that.
with your inquiries.
You heard the Baron. We've got nothing to hide.
Well, I thought he was a little standoffish until I talked to Rowdy here, and now I'm thinking the guy's a thug.
I heard you uncovered a lost shrine at Fungal Grotto.
Lady Raxley is very busy. If you must...
If you're looking for work, please talk to quarry boss Lorena. I have more important things to do than deal with common laborers. Yabrin's back? I assumed she was fighting in Cyrodiil, or guarding the Count's precious bear. If this is about Olbrin's suspicions, I'll tell you what I told the healer. My quarriers enjoy the rewards that come with hard work. Illness is not an issue. Did it? I don't recall any standing appointments. The constable always treated me with the respect I deserve. He never found it inconceivable that Emperor Leovic personally granted an Argonian an imperial title. Not like Baron Carvane. My business is none of your concern. We struggled in the past, and were almost forced to sell to Carvane, but we turned things around. All it took was a war, a demand for stone, and for our quarriers to work a little harder. Now, please leave.
Oh, you think the Argonian did it, eh? I think she was framed. Like, she seemed pretty happy that Buddy, like the sheriff, didn't mind that she was an Argonian.
Deputy, over here. Deputy, I have a message for you from Constable Yabrin. The constable said she found something at the healers that pointed to a possible source of fatigue fever. She asked me to let you know, and that you should meet up with her. She wants you to help her search Carvane Manor and Lady Raxley's tower. That I couldn't say. She wasn't exactly eager to share the details of her investigation in the middle of a town gambling den. But between you and me, if Carvane and Raxley aren't guilty of this, they sure as Tusk are guilty of something. Carvane Manor is south of town, on the Carvane Ranch. Watch yourself there. The ranch hands don't take kindly to trespassers. As for Lady Raxley's tower, it's north of town, looming over the quarry.
We'll search Lady Raxley's place first. say it's this place. I sure hope it's her, because I'm taking all her stuff. It's giving them the performance enhancing stuff. Both of them are crooks. See, I don't know what happened with the other place. It's clear what's going on.
Good. You found it. Place used to be crawling with goblins. Let's see what's in there now. And see if it unlocks any of the drawers. Not for that desk? Then let's find the lock that key opens. Over there. Try the key in that desk. They're after us. And Graku. I'll go warn him. You destroy this alchemical equipment.
Let you destroy my life's work.
Damn. Mercenaries got the drop on me. Constable Yabron. They busted in right after she arrived. Mercenaries by the looks of them. I tried to help, but I'm not the fighter I used to be. They took Yabron. They made a point of shouting so everyone could hear. Fatigue fever is your fault, you and your crooked father. I know that's not true. They want to blame her. Said they were taking her to the Antas Reservoir. North, near the river.
agreed to sign the confession, Yabrin. My patience won't last forever.
Over here. Get me out of these bonds.
Give me that. I'll sign her damn name. In case you haven't noticed, we've got company.
A deputy. Mercenaries, kill them and dump the elixir into the reservoir. Come, Rexley. We need to get out of here.
Deputy, you stop the mercenaries. I'll go after Carvane and Raxley.
Get this over with. I never did like lawfolk.
Let's make this quick.
That's far enough, Baron. I've got them. What happened at the reservoir, Deputy? I can't believe I allowed myself to get captured by this bunch. If my fellow legionaries hear about this... But tell me, did you stop the mercenaries from polluting the reservoir with the remaining elixir? Good. And we have enough evidence to implicate them. Not only in the deaths of Healer Navama and my father, but in the deaths of all those workers. Their alchemist created an elixir that made the workers more productive, but at a terrible cost. That's another death to lay at their feet, and all in the name of profit. They plan to destroy the town, blame it all on me, and run off with their ill-gotten gold. I'm just glad you were here to help stop them. I'll present the evidence we collected to the magistrate in Skingrad. Help determine who takes over the ranch and quarry. Ontis needs those businesses to continue, though without the danger of fatigue fever. Here's your pay, Deputy. With my thanks. I hope my father can rest easier now. I finished what he started, and brought the murderers to justice. I'll see them get whatever punishment the magistrate deems acceptable, whether life in a dungeon, or the executioner's blade. Thanks again, Deputy. That's a good question. I haven't quite decided yet. I want to stick around long enough to wrap this all up. See Carvane and Raxley face justice. Help decide the future of the ranch and quarry. Beyond that, we'll just have to see.
Oh, you'll have to watch it again. It's both of them. They were giving the workers cocaine.
I might have to. I'll need help rounding up the rest of the mercenaries at the ranch and the quarry. Damn it. There's a lot to do before I can figure out what's next for me. If you wander this way again, know that Ontis will always welcome you.
I'm innocent, I tell you. I was just a pawn. It was all this damn lizard's idea.
I hope my father can rest easier now.
Fine. Lock us in irons and take us to the magistrate.
Yep, they were too easy on them. I guess I should do this Bergeron thing. Baragon.
Did you hear? The king of Vashabal. He's the leader of the recollection.
You're back. Good. I made some progress with the Hope Route map. Let's talk. I'm still deciphering the map from Hope Route. I can't yet make sense of all the notes, but I figure that any location marked on the map must be important to the recollection. How did your investigations go? You've been busy, friend. Did you learn anything at Feldergard Keep and the Outcast Inn that might clear up the last nagging questions I've got about the Hope Route map? Tell me what happened. So, the planned attack on Feldergard Keep was with Daedric forces, not the Recollection? A good thing you were there to help Tribune Alea defend the fortress. And that blade you acquired. Any sword with a name must be important. You helped Athelia remember herself? Isn't that what the Recollection is trying to do? I suppose you had a good reason, but still. Entangled realities? A strange tale, friend. That's a problem rather beyond my experience. I'm glad you were there to sort things out. And you recovered a lamp? Sounds like some sort of relic. It might be important. As I hoped, your account explains these last few marks on the Hope Route map. Not only were the inn and the keep noted, there's another site the Recollection's interested in, an Ayleid ruin called Neriostare. We need to investigate that ruin next. Neriostare lies in the western Colovian hills. It's rather dilapidated and haunted. I had a harrowing experience there back when I was actively adventuring. Laramil wants to speak with you. Talk to her, then meet me at Neriostare.
The permutations of fate created a high probability that you'd... I would like to talk about the relics I heard you describe to Barracon. The Lamp of Clarity and Abolisher are two of the relics once used to defeat and imprison Athelia. As I said, they are two of the 3 relics Mora had created when Athelia became a threat. He enlisted other Daedric princes against her, and they made the relics. Abolisher was forged by Boethia to cut a path to Athelia no matter where she walked. The Lamp of Clarity, which she recovered from the Outcast Inn, was crafted by Azura. She wrought the lamp to illuminate the many paths, to make the unseen seen. Only one of the 3 relics remains to be found, the Skein of Secrets. A relic woven by Mephala, Daedric Prince of Secrets. It tracks Athelia and the unseen, but I do... Torvasad used Abolisher to open the way to Athelia's prison. He knows the relics can be used to return her there, and will do anything to prevent that. These ancient tools may be the keys to saving West Weald, and perhaps all of reality. The blade, the lamp, and the skein countered Athelia's power in ancient times. I think they can...
Alright, I'm gonna eat. Talk to you later, Hope.